Joining us live now is former Labor Senator Stephen Conroy. Stephen, Budget Day, it's always a good one. This one in particular, some details have been leaked already. $53 billion better off. That's not bad.
Look, the budget forecast last year proved to be particularly rubbery. The Treasury have now had a probably 10 to 15 year period where they have dramatically miscalculated the budget numbers. So it's pleasing to see Australia is not as deeply in debt as was first forecast by Treasury, but nobody should be taking these numbers as gospel. I mean, the iron ore price, which was forecast to be $57 a tonne, I think, last year, is sitting at, I think, a peak surge the other day of over $200. And that is hundreds of millions, if not $1 billion or two, of extra revenue that this government is able to boast about, but actually hasn't done anything to achieve.
It closed today at a new record, $230 a tonne.
And that will make a dramatic change and improvement in the budget bottom line. But that's got nothing to do with the government. The iron ore price fluctuates. They're wise. I'll be clear, they're wise to be cautious.
Yeah.
But the sort of spruiking of how great they're managing the budget is off the back of Chinese demand on iron ore, which at any stage can reduce or any stage evaporate, as they've demonstrated in another range of our export products to China.
Interesting comment too from the Treasurer this morning in his brief spiel when he said that the budget is going to contain assumptions on when the border can reopen. Now, the beauty of assumptions is that they can change, but still, when it says the second half of next year, caused some raised eyebrows a couple of days ago. But is that wrong when you think about the grand scheme of things and knowing that in India could happen at any moment?
No, look, the trick here, Pete, is, I mean, you flushed Simon Birmingham out a couple of days ago about what was the truth, and he sort of had to admit that they were looking at the earliest. But I just wish they would be honest. The Australians aren't stupid. There is no way that they're going to have full business travel, tourism travel, or even Australians going overseas by the middle of next year.
The problem
this will be a very limited return. So when the sector, whether it's international students and universities, or whether it's the tourism sector, all the jobs that hang off it, just tell the truth. Australians aren't really going anywhere or seeing mass tourism until the end of 2022 at the earliest.
And that might still be the earliest. The problem is truth is bad for business.
Well, that's right. People have got to remember, today's budget is the budget before the next election, whether it's an October-November election or whether it's a April election next year. This is the last budget. So punters should put their budget goggles on and know that the promises that are being made today are entirely about getting Scott Morrison elected next week. They're not necessarily a good policy. They're not necessarily prudent. I mean, there'll be a whole bunch of more pork barrels that they will rort along the way, as they've been demonstrated to consistently. So Australians should be a little bit cynical. This is a pre-budget election, and a bit of a grain of salt needs to be taken when analysing the Treasurer's statement.
But he's not going to lose an election based on any of his announcements so far, right?
No. This is an absolute, fistful of dollars, to borrow from a very old political slogan of the 70s. They are throwing money out the door, and they are intending to get elected whatever way it's possible. They've jettisoned all Liberal Party ideology. This is a budget that will contain many features that the Labor Party would be proud of.
Is there anything left? Is there anything that you'd have your eye on?
No, I've been trying to work out what's he got left to announce tonight at 7:30. That's always one of the great tricks. A week or two before a budget, just put out all the announcements.
Yeah, I mean, I made this point earlier, but I mean, aged care, childcare, women, infrastructure, mental health. That's the announcement today. Skills as well, hitting all the right marks.
No, absolutely. I mean, these are the areas that Labor has campaigned on for years. Labor has championed the aged care problems. It's championed infrastructure. And this is a government that is late to the party, and now, staring down the barrel of the next election, it is just grabbing any policies, good ones that Labor's put forward, bad ones they'll come up with tonight, and they're just putting them out there.
Hey, what sort of I mean, this is the first budget in a while that's not going to have the Cormann factor. What sort of a difference do you think that would make, if any?
Look, Matthias was one of the best operators in the government, so they'll certainly be missing him. His demeanour, his personal style. But having said that, Simon Birmingham is a very good replacement. Simon's got a very easy-going character. He will fill those shoes, I think, very, very well. I mean, Matthias is, it's great for Australia that Matthias got the gig, but Simon is a canny operator as well, and I think he would have just have slid into that chair without missing a beat.
When's that Champions League final?
A couple of weeks, sounding like it's going to be in Portugal.
Man, it might be at Wembley. It might be at Wembley, Stephen.
No, I think the overnight Portugal, they won't give exemption to 2,000 UEFA officials to come into the country, COVID untested. Boris is standing up. So Portugal's looking good, but you've got Europa, we've got Champions League, all is good in the world.
Everyone's happy. Stephen Conroy, always good to chat. Talk to you again soon.
Talk soon.